Speed. Okay.
Okay. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Martha.
Nice to talk to you, even
too.
through Skype.
Yes, it's nice to talk to you guys too.
And I would like to know what first led you to embrace this cause. Why elephants?
That's a good question. Elephants. It really kind of fell into my lap. I had gotten out of two films. I worked on a film on orcas and dolphins, and then I had worked on a film in Antarctica about the illegal hunting of whales in Antarctica. And I was in between projects, and I was actually visiting Thailand on holiday when I was introduced to Lek, who is in our film. She's the elephant lady in our film. And when I met her and she introduced me to some of the problems, and I spent a lot of time with her on the border of Burma, actually documenting these elephants coming across the border illegally, because she was, explaining to me about this whole illegal elephant trafficking. And I said, how do you traffic an elephant? How do you smuggle an elephant across the border? And it was very intriguing to me. And when she showed me the numbers, how many elephants were being captured and how many were being used in captivity, and how illegal it was, and how they were smuggling them all over the world, especially throughout Asia, I promised her that I would come back and make a film with her and about these issues and about what she's trying to do to resolve these issues. So that's how it all started.
And what challenge have you faced to this film?
What challenges? Wow. Oh, where to begin on that one? Every film is littered with challenges. Well, it's always challenging working with animals because they don't take direction very well. They tend to do what they want, and I don't like to give the animals direction because they're wild animals. So one of the challenges.
Do you have any particular situation to tell us?
Oh, plenty. I can focus on a couple. One of the hardest things to do. It's kind of, you don't really think about it, but when you're making a film about a woman who is 4 feet 11 inches tall, and a 13-year-old girl who is 5 feet 2 inches tall, and an elephant. It's very difficult to fit the three of them in the frame together, if you know what I mean. You usually have like a knee shot of the elephant, or you have this incredibly wide shot, and you see these two tiny little women next to this giant beast. So that's always, framing is always a problem when you're working with elephants and people. One of the funnier moments of working with the elephants is you really have to. They're very curious, and they're mischievous too. The ones that are at Lek's sanctuary, they've been habituated. They've been around people for a long time, so they would see myself and my crew and all our camera gear, and they look right at the camera gear and they see toys. So you turn your back for 10 seconds, and suddenly the elephant's got your camera and your tripod and swinging them around like circus toys. And so we lost one camera and one tripod, and we had to cut a couple of cables because one of the elephants got tangled up in the audio cable. It was quite amusing, but costly at the same time.
And do you have any idea how this film touched people?
How it touches people? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, we set out to make a film that touched people on an emotional level and on a logical level. And one of the best ways to evaluate that is just to see how well it does in the festivals and the schools. So we've taken the film on tours to different middle schools around the country and now around the world, actually. We've done them everywhere from the west coast of the United States to Czech Republic, and we've done Korea and Bangkok, and every time the response from the youth, from the children, is amazing. They fall in love with the elephants, they fall in love with Juliet, the mothers and fathers fall in love with Lek, and everybody wants to help, So,
and what kind of reactions?
Oh, well, first of all, it's the questions. The hands go up right at the end. We have, audiences full. We had 400 students in the audience in Bangkok. And the Q&A after the film lasted almost 2 hours. They were constantly engaged with questions on, one 9-year-old boy raised his hand and he started asking me about the sustainability of Lek's project versus the square meters of her land and the forest. And so he's like doing the math. And I said, who are you? And he said, well, my name's Dominic and I'm a filmmaker. And I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 9. And I said, wow. And that blew me away. And I just looked at him, and his parents were sitting next to him in the audience, and they kind of shrugged down, and they said, yeah, he's telling the truth. He's 9-year-old, and he's made 3 films already, and he made us drive 2 hours to see your film. And when I saw like the passion in his eyes, and the fact that he made his parents drive 2 hours to come see our movie, that alone tells me that I'm doing something right. And I after the film, after the Q&A, I asked him if he wanted to work together on a project, and he told me that I would have to check with his mom because he's very busy, and he might be able to pencil me in 2014. I thought that was quite funny. I was being blown off by a 9-year-old.
But what's your next project?
The next project, we've got actually 3 projects in development. One of them is also, again, on captive. The next one is on captive primates in the entertainment industry, focusing on the story, the life and times of an orangutan in Borneo who's been working in captivity in Borneo for a couple of decades. And we have another film that is a documentary about the ivory trade between Africa and primarily China. And on that film, we're working with Chinese producers and Chinese directors and Chinese youth, actually, to engage them, because China is the largest consumer of ivory right now. And the Chinese government is in denial. They don't want to believe it. Or they know it's happening. They're just trying to ignore it. So we need to engage the Chinese youth. And when I say youth, I mean like college to high school to college level students. And that's who we're going after with that next project, yeah.
Great. It was nice to talk to you. I'm
You
pretty
too.
sure people here is going to love your film
Oh, thank you.
and is going to be in love with the elephants and their cause.
Great.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. And if anybody wants to share our film with your friends in Brazil, we have it available for download and streaming on our website with Portuguese subtitles. So it's there and ready to go. All you have to do is click the button.
Okay, thank you, Tim.
Okay, thanks, Marta. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.